And what I mean by that is that as much as we all believe we're individuals, we all act within a range of outcomes that frankly can be modeled mathematically and be highly predicted. And it's no different than, you must think to yourself sometimes when you go to Google and you start typing in a few letters and it instantly knows. And you think to yourself, well, is that the same search result that everybody else gets? And the answer is no. And then you must think to yourself, well, how creepy is it that Google knew what I was thinking? And the answer is, well, you probably, in a whole bunch of many other subtle ways, told them. You just didn't realize it.
I like how you're counting the cards in my search behavior right now.
Right? And so I think we reduced a lot of theoretical complexity to that simple insight, which is that humans are telling you in passive and active ways every day what's in their heart and mind. And when you collect those signals and you learn, you can become really good at giving them what they want, but then you also become really good at understanding their behavior. And now, unfortunately, in some rare edge cases, in manipulating, well, one would hope they're rare, in manipulating their behavior as well with this whole fake news stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. Is that the sort of thing that, granted, it's been a long time since you were at Facebook, but outfits like yours were set up to anticipate?
No. The fundamental thing that I want to make sure is clear to everybody is, technology by design is deterministic in the following way, which is that whatever can be done and whatever is possible will be done. And what we need to do is have the moral and ethical discussions around how we prevent the broad implications of how technology can be used not just in positive ways, but in ways that are poorly understood.
Are you saying it's impossible to anticipate everything?
Absolutely. Like, I'll give you a simple example. I helped start a cancer genomics business 7 years ago, which is doing incredibly well, helping people manage the fundamental problems of cancer care with precision around their specific genetic makeup. It stands to reason that within the next 10 years, we'll be able to take that profile and makeup of who we are genetically and precisely start to target things that can make us sick. And then eventually someone will say, well, what about the things that could make us sick in the future? Well, what's the difference between something that could make you sick in the future versus something that could, frankly, just be optimized for you in the future? It's a very slippery slope. And so the type of gene editing technology that people are experimenting with today for the foreseen future will be used at eradicating disease. That's a fantastically positive thing.
It seems, it seems almost dangerous to be able to say on the one hand, it's possible to crack the code for growth so that this technology can spread global around the world and touch everybody. But it's impossible to anticipate some of the worst uses of it that then can use this network to manipulate. It's almost like a Frankenstein's monster situation.
Yeah, and look, again, the thing is, I want to be clear, we are making a lot of this stuff up as we go along. And anybody that pretends that they know or pretends that they know the future is fundamentally either lying or stupid. So you're absolutely right. We are going to uncover all kinds of unintended consequences for the things that we've built. So again, to use this genetics example, it will start with curing diseases that you have, and it'll quickly migrate to diseases that you may get, and then to things about you that you just want to change. And then eventually some government, whether it's us or not, will take the decision, well, you know what? I just want to create a superhuman cyborg that are citizens of my country. What do you do then? So, there are all of these issues that I think we have to grapple with around technology that we are only starting to scratch the surface of now, and they all come back to this idea of we are building things we never thought were possible, but we just have to be honest that we're also probably not well equipped to realize the full breadth of the implications.
So should we regulate that in some way?
Yeah, has to be. Now the question is how. And this is where I think you get this intersection of governance and politics and technology that we've never had to contend with before. The last 30 years have been about unbounded gains where technology has largely allowed things to be cheaper, faster, better, where the aggregate value creation was undeniable, with very, very few consequences. But now I think that has changed. And so we're going to have to really grapple with that, and that's going to require a level of conversation between governments, between companies, populations, and it is a global discussion. It cannot happen at a national level because it's irrelevant what happens in any one country. That's why, frankly, the current political climate has to be really thought of with skepticism, but also with some graveness, because sticking your head in the sand and just saying, oh, we as a country can figure this out is not going to solve it, because whatever we do, it's like playing whack-a-mole. Some other country can decide to go the other way, and so it's about creating a moral framework that everybody agrees with.